I think I'm going to grab that with a flat brush. Oh my god, it's like so creamy. Alright everyone, so good morning or good afternoon. I just woke up, so I might look a little bit tired. Now for today's video, I'm so excited because yesterday I received 2 packages. I'm dying. So for today's video, we are going to be trying the brand called ODEN'S EYE. This brand is totally new to me. I think this is a Swedish brand, and I'm very excited to try these because the packaging I've been seeing online from them looks freaking cute and very amazing. So we are going to be trying these products out today. I'm so excited. I'm going to try and say I'm so excited only once, and I just said it, so I'm not going to say it again. So I'm going to start by opening these packages. I did not open them yet, so I have no idea what is in here, but I'm just going to open these really quickly. I'm going to show you the products really quickly. I'm going to give you my first impressions, and then I'm going to try everything on my face. So let's start with the little one. So I'm going to open it up. So we have the Norn's Mesmerizer. I really like the name for that. We have the shade called Veil of Lurcher. We also have the shade, oh my god, this typography is so tiny, I cannot read this. So this is the shade Web of Destiny? Weeb of Destiny? Oh my god, I can't read that. And then we also have the shade called Spring of Life. I don't think I've never seen such a beautiful highlight. These highlights are so pretty. They're really creamy, and first impressions, I'm really impressed, and these shades are very interesting as well. We also have the Verdandi. Pronouncing these words, oh my god. So we have the Verdandi mini eyeshadow palette. Can we take a moment? Holy shit, these two right here. Do you see those 2 shades in the center? These shadows in the center are so freaking creamy. Same as the brown one right here. This one is also very creamy and very rich. I'm very curious to try the mattes on my lids because mattes can be very deceiving. They can look very pigmented, swatched, and when you apply them on the eyes, they look patchy and they don't blend. So I'm really curious to try the mattes on my lids, but like so far I didn't even try these yet, and I know I'm going to be using them a lot. Then we also have the Alva II Mini Forest palette. We also have the Alva II Mini Sky palette, and then we have the Alva II Mini Ocean palette, and then we have the Norn's eyeshadow palette. We have the Erd Mini eyeshadow palette. I'm going to write the names on the screen because I'm very sorry for butchering these names. We also have the Scold Mini palette, and then we have the Soulman eyeshadow palette. The packaging is really pretty on these. And then you have the Soulman highlight palette. The packaging is amazing. And then you have the Alva II highlight palette. And last but not least, we have the Alva II eyeshadow palette. Alright, so I hope you really enjoyed those swatches. First impressions, overall, I'm kind of really impressed, especially with the shimmers. All the shimmers from all the swatches, they looked freaking amazing, and all the shimmers, they felt really creamy. And also, first thing I'm going to have to say, these shadows, they really remind me of like a mix between Colourpop and Kaleidos. Like the shimmers are very creamy, they look amazing, they look really shifty, they look high quality, they feel high quality, but I will have to say like maybe the shimmers from the ODEN'S EYE brand might be a little bit more intense and packed with pigments. Like they're really intense. So overall, I'm kind of like really impressed. And also, you might be noticing I have makeup on my face right now. Actually, because I had so many palettes to swatch, I didn't have the time to film everything this morning. So this afternoon I did go out and I did a quick makeup look, and I did use some of the products from ODEN'S EYE. So this is also kind of like a little wear test. So this makeup has been on my face for maybe like 3 hours, and on my lids right now, which one did I use? Oh god, I used the Alva II Mint Slay palette, and I used a shade called Clouds, which is a really pretty like pink brown shade with a little bit of like a golden shimmer in it, and it looks freaking amazing. So I put this shade all over my crease, and then on top I went ahead and used the highlight. So this is the Mesmerizer in the shade Veil of Fortune. So this is the shade Veil of Future, and I placed this in the very center of my lid. And do you see this look? Do you see how pretty this is? It looks really shimmery, very dimensional. I really like this highlight. Also on my cheeks as a highlight, I did use a highlight shade from the Solman highlight palette, and I have this one right here. So I just applied a little bit on the high points of my cheeks, and I love the shine this gives. It gives the most like natural sheeny type of look, but without being glittery or too much. So without further ado, let's just jump into the makeup look. I really want to do something very intense, very smoky, and I'm also feeling really inspired by this palette right here. I really want to go ahead and use some green shades, but yeah, so I'm going to stop talking and just put on the makeup. I'm first going to remove the makeup I have right now, so I'll be right back. Alright, so here we go. Let's get started with the makeup. So first thing I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be moisturizing my skin. And today I want to use the La Neige Water Bank moisturizer. I've been using this for a little bit now, and I think I like it. I do really like the texture. It's very hydrating, very lightweight, but I think this might break me out. I'm not sure. So I'm still kind of in the process of like trying this cream out. So I'm just going to place a little bit of it everywhere. So for priming my lids, I'm going to be using the MAC Prolongwear Paint Pot in the shade Painterly. I'm just going to take a little bit of that, and I'm going to prime both my eyes. And like usual, I'm going to prime my under eye, my lid. I'm going to take this also quite far on my outer corner. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take the Erd Mini Eyeshadow Palette, and I'm going to grab that really pretty like light lime shade. This shade is called Memory. I'm going to take that with a very small fluffy brush. This is the JH40 brush, and I'm just going to start and place this in my inner corners. I want to have like a really nice pop of green, so I'm just really packing this all over my inner corners, and I'm going to fluff this shade out. I have very, very high expectations for these shadows just because the swatches are really pretty, and all the colors from these palettes are really interesting also. I love the concept of this brand. So I'm just placing this in my inner corners, and I'm starting to smoke this out towards the crease. So far so good. This shade does have a lot of pigment. Next, I'm going to take the shade right next to it, which is called Nostalgia. It's like a deeper green shade. And I'm going to be taking that shade with a very small beveled brush. And I really want to do a very harsh cut crease, but not all the way to the outer corner. I really want to keep that really rounded. So I'm just going to start and sketch out the shape of the cut crease. That's very pigmented so far. Alright, so next I'm going to take a like small compact brush, and I'm just going to use that to blend the edges just a little bit, and I'm mainly going to blend this going upwards. So I'm just smoking this shade just a little bit. And I'm going to go back and forth between the beveled brush with that green shadow just to keep that intensity. And I also want the center of the crease to be the thickest line. Alright, so next, just to help the blending of this a little bit more, I'm going to take my Milk Translucent powder. I'm going to grab that with a very fluffy brush that has nothing on it. And I'm just going to set under my brow bone and blend the edges using this powder just a little bit more. Next, I think I want to deepen this shade more. So I'm going to go into the shade called Past, which is a deep brown shade, and I'm just going to pack that in the very center of the crease. I'm going to do the exact same steps but creating a very smoky winged liner going from my bottom lash line. And like these shadows are very pigmented. I'm very impressed, and also the brown shade really layered quite nicely on top of the green shade. Usually with, for example, BH Cosmetics or Kaleidos matte eyeshadows, usually with these I find that it's very difficult to layer the shades just because they're really powdery. So whenever you use like a base shade and you want to go on top with a darker shade, well, the darker shade is not going to stick because of that lighter shade that's like drying your lid out. So far I'm kind of like really impressed with these. They're layering quite nicely. So now I'm going to go back in with the green shade, and I'm just going to start and create a very intense winged liner from my bottom lash line. Do you see how well the brown shade layers? It's crazy. Alright, now I'm just going to take a Q-tip. The Q-tip doesn't really have anything on it. I'm just going to use it to really roughly like clean some of the edges. So next I'm going to go into the Norn's eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to take the shade called Pink Chameleon. I'm going to first grab that with my finger. Do you see this shade? Whew, this shade is intense. And I'm going to place this in the center of my lid. Holy shit. I think I'm going to grab that with a flat brush. Oh my god, it's like so creamy. So I'm going to blend this towards the green. I'm also going to take that, place that right here where we don't have really anything, on the outer corner. I feel like this makeup look is missing something. Oh, I don't like that. God damn it. I'm going to remove the green, try to remove this. And I'm going to go back in with the lime shade. Oh, like nothing happened. It's crazy how well these shades layer. I'm really impressed. Yeah, instead I think I'm just going to extend the inner corners, but from the lower lash line and not the upper lash line. I think the upper lash line was a little bit too much. Yeah, that's a little bit better. I think I'm going to grab more of that lime shade, and I'm just going to place that right here on top. I just want a little bit of pop. I just want a little bit more color up here, so I'm just going to place that right here on the end of the cut crease. I think I like it. I'm just going to pop on some mascara just to like be sure that I like it. So I'm going to be using the Wearable Magnet mascara from Benefit. I don't want to say this, but I think I want to say this. I definitely need to try more of these palettes and like use more of these shadows, but I think I want to say it. These are probably some of the nicest eyeshadows I have in my collection right now. I haven't really, like, this is only one look that I did with these shadows, and I'm already that impressed. But sometimes, like, whenever I first try a new product or like a new brand, I'm super excited. I try it, everything goes super well, and then a couple of like days after, I try the same products in a different ways, and I don't like the product anymore. And I'm kind of scared that this is going to happen with these, just because I don't want to say these are the best eyeshadows I ever tried in my whole life, and then I don't like them anymore. but like, these are like one of the best eyeshadows I ever tried. But I think I need to like use these shadows in a couple of different ways before like saying that these are the best eyeshadows I ever tried. Also, I think I am going to be receiving the new Freya collection from ODEN'S EYE maybe in a couple of weeks. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a first impression on that collection, if I do receive it, and maybe I can let you know how I feel about these shadows in that video. Or also let me know if you just want me to do another makeup look with these palettes. I'm going to stop rambling and I'm just going to continue with the makeup. But yeah, so I'm going to start working on my complexion now. So for my foundation, I think I want to use this one right here. This is the Covergirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk Foundation in the shade Fair. And this foundation is quite nice. I do quite enjoy it. So I'm just going to take some of that on the back of my hand. I'm going to place that a little bit everywhere. And I'm going to blend everything in using my Rare Beauty foundation brush. Today I really want my coverage to be natural. For my concealer, I'm going to be using, of course, my Rare Beauty concealer. I'm using the shade 140C. And I'm just going to place that on the high points of my face. And because I'm lazy and this is the fastest way to blend concealer in my face, I'm going to also blend this in using my foundation brush. Alright, and then using my Milk Translucent powder. So I'm just going to take a very small fluffy brush and I'm just going to set some areas that do crease really easily. And also some areas where I do have a lot of texture and I want to reduce that. So for example, under my eyes, and I do have a lot of texture around my chin, so I'm just going to take some of that and set my chin. And then with a big fluffy brush, I'm just going to take some powder, but very, very lightly. And I'm just going to set the rest of my face because we are going to be using powder highlight and powder bronzer, powder everything. So I want to make sure that most of my face is well powdered so that everything blends nicely on top. For my bronzer, I'm going to be using the Haus Laboratories Heat Spell Bronzer and Highlight Duo. And I'm going to use the bronzer in the shade Savannah. Alright, and because I want to bring back some shine to my face because this bronzer was matte, I'm going to be taking my Marc Jacobs highlight. This is in the shade Omega Glaze. This was their holiday collection and this is way too expensive. That's it. It's just way too expensive. I'm just going to take some of that with a dual fiber brush. And I'm just going to go on top of the bronzer we just applied. And this is just going to give a really nice shine to the skin. This highlight is a little bit too dark for me as a highlight, so I do like to use this as a bronzer topper and it's beautiful. For my blush, I'm going to be using the Sunstone blush from the Likely Makeup palette, just because we do have that really nice like orange coral shade on the lids. I want to complement that with that shade, so I'm going to take the same dual fiber brush. I'm going to grab some of that and I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheeks. Alright, really quickly I'm going to fill in my brows. Alright, so before we play with some highlights, I'm just going to do my lips really quickly. I'm going to line my lips using the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the shade Endless Caca. And then I'm going to fill my lips in using the Fenty Beauty Mademoiselle lipstick. This is in the shade Single. Alright, and now for the highlights. So I'm going to take the Mesmerizer in the shade Web of Destiny. I'm going to grab that with a highlight brush. This is a BH Cosmetics brush. These highlights are so creamy. I'm just going to place that on the high points of my cheeks. I'm using this one because it has kind of the same tones. Like this shade, it has such a nice pink shift, but like it has a pink golden shift. It's really pretty. And it is quite glittery, so if you don't like glittery highlights, you might not like this. Oh my god, that's really pretty. I don't know what to say. I just don't know what to say. Everything looks amazing. These highlights and these shadows might be some of the best I ever tried. Let me know in the comments below if you would want me to do more makeup looks using these palettes, and also let me know if you would like to see a specific makeup look on a certain palette, like me creating a makeup look with only one palette. I would be happy to do that. I really want to use these palettes more often. I'm kind of like so excited with these shadows, like the quality, the blendability, how they layer, and also the colors in each palette. Amazing, beautiful. I'm shook. If you have the chance to try these products, this video is not sponsored, by the way. I want to say that I don't think my channel is to the level of being sponsored. If you have the chance to try these products, you should definitely take the chance. And for today's secret emoji, we're going to be doing the little guy that's like really happy and has like stars for the eyes, just because he's amazed and I'm also amazed. So let's do that little guy. So put it in the comment section below so that I know you're still here with me. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the Makeup Mondays. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.